Hello, hello. My lovely League audience. Okay. Talisman, potion, totem. So we've got quite the matchup this time around. We've got Scion top, Jarvan in the jungle, and Maokai as a support. So we're looking at a trio of tanks. But it doesn't mean that we don't have a trio of tanks ourselves. We've got Gnar, we've got the Thresh, and they've got me. One of the things that we have to be concerned about is the combo that's coming from these guys. They're gonna bind us up and get us dead pretty quick with MF ult. So we're gonna be looking to get Locket of the Iron Solari maybe as our second item, apart from our main jungler item. Alright. And things are going underway. Scion is probably stealing a camp somewhere. Is he level 2? Yeah, he stole someone's red. He stole my red. Exactly. I don't want to steal this. I'm gonna attempt to steal this. Because that Scion would have taken my stuff. Alright, so that's 410. In case I needed to bop that. I have faith in you, Gnar, my friend. Oh, come on, Gnar, man. What's going on here? I guess Gnar did not respect the red buff coming from the Scion. And my red buff is gone. So he just went that way. Jarvan is hanging out in my area. Yeah, I guess I should have okay. So they double countered me. I guess that is interesting. Normally, you know, people who aren't too familiar with Nunu don't get that happening to them. Alright, so I'm gonna grab a control ward and do dragon ASAP. We want that dragon big time. That fire dragon. Well, actually, we're only level 3, so we need to... Okay, yeah, we need... Hopefully Scuttles is down there. We need to do Scuttles first. We can get our level 4. Scuttles. Scuttles. Guess we can hang out on the sidelines for a minute here. Oh, there's Scuttles. And there's Scion. Bam. Oh, thanks, guys. So 450 is our smite damage. Alright, we're gonna head back right away, get some boots. Get my red. Now that is going to be an important Drake early on. Next Drake is going to be a Cloud Drake. Okay. Prevented my... Alright, 450. Leo's pal. Can't see him. He loves to harass with all his damage. No, don't even try it. I swear, man. Sanity of this game. Oh, hey, wolves. But it is just sick, the amount of burst that Jarvan can get out. He's going for burst, Jarvan. That's why he did so much damage to me. Nothing over here, buddy. Sion's gonna be helping himself upstairs here. We're managing to stay afloat here, I think. At this stage in the game, they're definitely looking to make a play somewhere. Not super fantastic that Nara is having a tough time in lane, but We'll do some warding for him. Zed's holding out. Holding his own, holding out. We'll get another that. And if you use an ability on the little pad here on your home base, you will regain your visionary. Nunu's ability costs no mana and is empowered. Hi y'all. Yeah. So the Zed is successfully pushing that. We'll just slow him down. That's unfortunate. We're gonna get some eyes over here. Interesting. Could be alright. Nope. Don't think so, buddy. Just let Gnar free farm. I'm okay with that. This is what you would call trying too hard. As far as what the Scion is doing. Now I've got Dragon coming up in 40 seconds here. Now it looks like they are going to prepare for Dragon. This is a good time for me to do something else. Well, that was like Robin Leach or something. And this is time for me to do something else. Yeah, so while they're doing that, I'm gonna be doing this. Speed it up, Nunu. Get behind him. Aw, thanks, buddy. You hit the eyeball? I helped. I helped. Alright, so we're not actually going to do that just yet. No, I don't think I should use it on top. Not yet. Because I feel like Jarvan will be up top to stop it pretty quickly. If not instantaneously. Yeah, Jarvan's already top. There he is, the butt. Yeah, just prevented continued death there. I know what I'm doing. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. What is this kid doing? Alright, he took that. That's fine. Looks like Echo warded right there. What? What was that? Wow, this guy, oh man. Our Gnar just doesn't, get top lane, man. Oh. Yeah, so the Gnar, I'm not really sure what's his issue. He could just not know how to build against the Scion here. Now I'm looking to pop this soon and pop it at mid. Alright, so we're gonna be popping this real soon. I gotta pop this. Not very nice, Echo. So that'll delay him a little bit, won't do a whole lot. Their due diligence, the Jarvan's due diligence. Has gotten the better of this. Anyway, okay, well, I want to undo that. There we go. Okay. They're committing an awful lot. See if I can get this real quick. I'll be able to get out. Oh, that was funny. That was some funny CC. I did not take into account that they warded this, sadly. That is my fault. They will be getting a Fire Drake off that, unfortunately. So the Gnar is having more trouble than is suitable. So the play that we're going to be making next is around Baron. This is going to be a hard play to make because we still haven't even experienced the onslaught of the MF ultimate. Like, MF held... Like, MF, she held that ultimate. Or maybe she used it already. Huh. But as simple as it is with the Gnar top, he just doesn't understand the matchup. Fine. That's fun. I'll trade ultimate for ultimate.
They didn't know what they were up against.
I'll trade my silly ultimate for Sion's ultimate any day. See, right now, Sion can't use his ultimate for anything. Except for crying in his cereal. He does want this pretty badly up here. Alright, Gnar. Alright, Gnar, my man. Let's see if Echo picks up the kill. He does. So right now we don't have any eyes on be able to get away. Alright, so they wasted a lot there. They could be doing... They could have been doing something. They wasted a lot there. A lot of their own time, that is. Really need to... I might have to pull old-fashioned Nunu steal here. This is not an old-fashioned Nunu steal. This is okay. Alright. We're gonna clear this real quick with our ultimate.
Your fellow stars are fading.
Alright. Gonna get this nice item.
Has been slain.
And we're going to get... Now, this is something that I should have gotten earlier. Where is it? Gaius of the Legion.
Your turret is toast.
Just to protect against... They really aren't backing off. Wow. They're just kind of feigning that we're going in at this point. We really should not follow that up. Although I would like to get some vision here. Just bother this guy for a while. Alright, that's fine. I think so. Alright, away I go. We need to get far away from this place. But yeah, I think it was fairly dangerous actually to do that dragon. That was... That was really dangerous, actually. Yeah. They can just do... I don't know, I just keep thinking that they can do Baron anytime they want. What? Okay, I'll eat your flash there, buddy. Tasty flash. Oh, nice.
Even stars fall.
Okay, so Echo was taken out of there. This Nara is something else, man. Something else.
It's cold out there.
Hello.
It's cold out there.
Okay, so our bot lane actually is rocking the party here. We're gonna go back. Alright, we're gonna go back now. We're gonna get out of there. Alright. He's got that, but they're pretty tanky and we can't handle all that tankiness. They should actually go for a Baron right now, but they're not. We're gonna get rid of that. We're gonna get some health. We're actually gonna, yeah, we'll get that, yeah. But yeah, they should be going for Baron right now. Alright, we're looking to protect.
Double kill.
Okay. So those guys can tank for days, man. Isn't that fantastic?
It's cold out there.
Okay. We've got our abilities here to hopefully we'll heal or something. Man, this just be one hard matchup, man. Come on, get me over there. Yeah, yeah. Okay, that was a bad call. Thresh hooked. But yeah, we shouldn't have gone in. Thresh hooked, but we shouldn't have gone in. But other than that, our bot lane is pretty good. And that is making the difference in all of these fights. That is just making the difference big time. Like, they've got some monster tanks, but two things. We have a late game champion. They don't. MF can do a lot of, you know, some decent burst. But when it comes to the damage, they don't got it. I don't know what they are doing here. They'll take that out. All right. Get out of there. That was a lot of bad positioning right there. Okay, he's gonna use his ultimate. You probably shouldn't engage Scion. Don't engage Scion, Thresh. You have to save your hook for defense for Jinx. Gosh. Okay, so the Echo is just destroying things here. And for the most part, alright, so not much I can do about that. What the Thresh didn't understand was that they had to... The Thresh was just using the hooks on the tanks, and that lost us the game right there. Echo just kept coming in, and since Thresh had no hook, he had no way to get Scion away from Jinx. And I kind of noticed, I mean, the Thresh was pulling out, like, the Thresh was initiating when we didn't have to. And sadly, like, you get into a mode where, you kind of just follow up. Well, they actually honored Thresh. Like, Thresh was probably pretty good in some instances, but because he was initializing a lot, that preempted our team to act accordingly. And the difference here was he didn't understand when to use and not use the hook definitively. Like, he knew how to protect Jinx in a lot of circumstances, but the Jinx was just popped because Thresh was wasting his CC on the tanks. So that's something that Thresh didn't understand. If it was something that he did understand, but he was just, I'm gonna hook anything, that's just not the mentality that you can pull here. It's unfortunate. It's definitely unfortunate. But if I had to choose anything that sort of change the tide of the battle, it'd be the Thresh. Like, I'm not even trying to blame Thresh, but I'll blame myself for going in at some point because of the Thresh and not giving Echo, like, the 17-5 in Echo the respect he deserves. But it doesn't help when a Thresh hooks and you feel that compulsion to go in. So here's a lesson for you guys. In this case, because Thresh was hooking their tanks, he couldn't focus his CC, or he couldn't focus to save the Jinx. Secondly, you have Echo that's pretty much, you know, the big guns here. And as long as we could keep him under wraps, we were fine, I think, in terms of winning the game. And that's really unfortunate, because when we were fighting the Scion down there, and the Gnar was kind of baited in by the Thresh, and I was baited in by the Thresh too, by the hook, we could have did Baron right there, and that could have major implications on the rest of the game. We could have got some solid farm, everybody. But we decided to go with Thresh's play. It can be so challenging to follow through one moment with a team member's CC ability or initiate ability. It can be really frustrating to follow through at one moment, and at the next moment they're making bad calls, they're making mistakes that are initializing fights. But that's the wonder of the tenuousness of solo queue, that you can never, I shouldn't say never, but being able to trust another person's judgment in solo queue is an amazing feat. But you hope that people would play, correctly. It could be to say that it was all right for hook to the hooks coming out from Thresh on, in the mid lane, but using hooks on the Scion while the Echo is free to do what he wants to Jinx, that's totally unacceptable. And I don't even think I was a part of that. But Thresh probably gave us a lot of momentum early on, and he was also good in team fights. but there was a couple of instances that just went south for us. And so Thresh was just too fired up, whatever you want to call it. He was just too gung-ho. I don't know, like trigger happy on his hook. And it's good to do that, but you have to know when to stop. You have to know that you're causing your team problems when you... And also, secondly, like, the fact that they have just gigantic tanks, like Scions, like this gigantic tank, it didn't help that Gnar failed in the early game. That what the Scion did what was correct. He actually went after my red. They knew that I was going to go after their blue. And Jarvan counter jungled me. And I wasn't punished for the counter jungle, and they weren't punished for the counter jungle. So what I should have done was ask bot lane to ward, well, ask top lane to ward my red, ask bot lane to ward my blue. But even if they ward those areas, what makes it so tough to do anything about that is people can't leave their lanes, otherwise they'll start getting behind in CS, and level 2 and level 3 engages are fairly important. But as far as the MF, I think that we itemize correctly for the ultimate. So we'll finish off with some itemization here. Lock of the Iron Solari. I did say that I would get that a little sooner, but I just didn't find too many opportunities of team fighting breaking loose. The Echo, man, he was really making use of our deficiencies because he could just get in there and just wail on the ADC. So you've got Cinder Hulk, Stone Plate. I used Stone Plate once. I think it did a modest amount of ability. Yeah, it did its job in keeping me alive so I can flash out of a situation. But the fights were winnable. But certainly we had to, like... We had to all be on the same page, and one of those fights we were on the same page. But Thresh was on another page, and I was on another page, and Gnar was on another page. We were saying to ourselves, we shouldn't try to get Baron. That we should try to get this Scion, but he's defending this turret. And the turret does a lot of damage. And thus we died. Gnar died, and I died. Dead Man's Plate to get us around on the map. A nice item. Locket of the Iron Solari is going to protect against Echo, although he does so much burst that I think it shreds all the shields. Shreds practically all the shields. But this item's nice for the MF ultimate, and more and continued survivability with Echo in his burst damage. You get your standard Cinder Hulk. The Zed, I think he was making a fair amount of plays. He wasn't being especially... I don't think he was being especially useful later on because of the amount of CC coming from the tanks. Like, he could probably kill MF, but afterwards... it would be hard-pressed to find him doing a lot of damage. Because he's just not itemized for it. Or he's just not... He's a champion that kind of... I mean, Jinx was like our bread and butter as far as damage. And I felt as though we were doing pretty good with that. The Gnar, he's got Black Cleaver, standard Gnar items, Frozen Mallet. He kept on with the CS. Scion's a bit ahead on the CS comparatively. So probably about 30 to 40 extra or CS on him, so not too bad. The Thresh, looks he's almost got a full gambit of items here, as things were getting close to late game, or just, you know, items everywhere late game. And then the Jinx, but yeah, the so Jinx is getting everything that she can to fend against the high HP guys here. But yeah, we could have came back in that fight, but we decided to do silly things along with the Thresh. Just gotta say to yourself, we killed the not all the time do you have to kill the entire team. That if you kill the carries, if you could kill the mid, or you kill whatever carries, not the tanks, don't worry about the tanks. If you kill those carries and the tanks are backing off, go do an objective. That's what I need to tell myself over and over. The MF, she's going for a damage burst with Ghost Blade, so she can get as much damage out of her ultimate as she can. She's got Dusk Blade of Drakthar. I'm not sure myself if this actually works on multiple units, but if it does, that means that it's gonna do a burst of damage on our first. Now this is talking about her first basic attack, but I don't know how it applies with her ultimate. But with this build, she's preparing to do her, you know, her signature, just stay in the back line and just murder. And then the Echo, who should have gotten the Echo that should have got the honors, in my opinion, because of his ability to get in and out of the situations. He knew that quite well, and he has durability and a little survivability coming from Hex Tech. But this is just like a powerhouse of damage right here. Scion, now I don't think this Dusk Blade is any good on Scion. He also has a Last Whisper, so I'm wondering if later in the game he just dropped these items, his tank items. He probably just dropped his tank items and got something else. But these two items are practically useless on Scion. He's got Iceborne Gauntlet to slow people down. But he's got a build that he would have actually done better. His 9-4-19, he actually would have done better if he would have gone full tank, in my opinion. These builds, like this build, is just a little like, it's just not helping as much. It's not helping his team as much as it could, because if he would have gotten Frostborn or not, you know, the other thing that builds from the other build path of Iceborne Gauntlets, and it's a defensive item that slows attack speed of people around you. That would have been so much more. So he either got rid of these items last minute as a joke, who knows. But yeah, these two items are pretty useless on Scion. The Jarvan went full tank plus Hydra. So he wanted that early he wanted that burst early. And I think that's correct. Like, he was able to force me out of my jungle and force me to flash away. And that's the kind of strength that's coming out of the Jarvan. And look at all these three of their dudes are 18. How did Gnar get 18? what I want to know. And then Maokai, lastly, you've got a support that's just a monster as well. So as good as we did in those fights, I think it was all about the damage coming from Jinx, and but it was still like such a fight. Like we couldn't kill Scion, and we were baited in by the Thresh and the Scion, and we took it upon ourselves to continue the fight, and we didn't need to. But it's one thing if you're initializing a fight, or it's another thing that if you're saying that, you know, just go back. But it takes a little bit of discipline. It takes a fair amount of discipline to say to yourself, hey, they hooked, but who cares? Like, just back off. Other than that, I thought that the team fights were going well. Until the Thresh decided to forget about it. Forget about it. Yeah. So I thought, all right. It's unfortunate, but also that's the strength of tanky everything. And they knew how to play the early game. They did a lot of things right to set things up. All right, guys, I will see you guys later. Hopefully we will climb out of this hole that we're in. I was thinking of, well, I'm going to be trying to go more early game junglers soon, because Nunu is a late game jungler, and the complexity of late game just kind of, I mean, it really boggles anyone's mind at the solo queue level, because there's a lot of trust. And what I mean is, when you're getting late game, it's important to know everybody's abilities and all this other stuff, and to synergize with one another to win team fights. Execute things when properly. But these are complex because there's a lot of abilities going off. There's a lot of this, a lot of that. And people aren't going to think about that. They're going to think about their own capacity as laners. And, you know, it's just too complex of an issue to try and affect the late game when getting ahead in the early game does so many things to win the game. But but definitely our win rate will increase if we start going Vi in the jungle. But all right, we'll wrap this up. I will see you guys next time. Adios. Hi-yo.